applied myself, I filled it in. No time for that doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for that doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
Welcome back to Dave's Doghouse. I know I took a week off, but you got 2 episodes this week. You got the regular Dave's Doghouse episode today, and then you got the special on Wednesday, 9 p.m. So make sure you tune in Wednesday, 9 p.m. I'm excited about today's episode. Got a few things to get out the way. Right now, I'm live on YouTube, so make sure you like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Want to do whatever I can to get my subscribers up. Comment your thoughts on every member of the Doghouse and the Dogs of the Week while I'm doing the show. And I'll definitely put your comments up, see exactly what you guys are thinking, guys and gals, of course. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you think should have been in the Doghouse or who should have been a Dog of the Week as well. I'll take that into consideration to my next episode outside of the very next one. So just, let me know what's going through your thoughts. Like I said, excited to talk about today's stuff. As you can see, the Doghouse is in the background, so it's time to have some fun. Some big things have been going on in football and in basketball, especially college basketball. Had a lot of exciting games, especially this past weekend. If you did not know that I was actually featured on CTC, Carl Talking College, and along with Javon, who's the guy of R2L. So, we did an episode on Saturday. So make sure you tune into that if you were interested in what was going on with that. So it was a really good episode, really, really, really good things that we made some predictions for college basketball. So tune in. There were some other shows that went live today. The regular R2L Show went live today at R2L went live today at 9 a.m. That is the new time that we do our show now, every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday is our off day, of course, as always. So if you have not subscribed or become a member of the regular R2L Show, do so now. Shout out to In the Red Corner, who had another episode this Sunday. This is the hottest up and coming show in the R2L network. So make sure you tune into the In the Red Corner. But also don't forget to subscribe to CTC, FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs, BWT Baseball with Teddy, RBO, Real Ballers Only with Vaughn, King's Talk with Joe, of course, my show, Dave's Doghouse, and In the Red Corner. So make sure you tune in to every single show. Of course, can't forget about like I said, the regular R2L show. So you see, we got somebody coming already. EB should have been in the Doghouse. Well, he was before. So, there's a chance that he could get put back in there again, but we'll see. We'll see. I think he may have I think he may be going back home to Kansas City. Who knows what happens during that time. We'll see what news pops up. They call me Dave Shefty, so most of the time I'm bringing out the news as well. But yeah, I'm excited about today's show. Definitely want to go ahead and get started about everything. So only thing I got to say is let's have some fun. So gonna do this. Let's talk about the Doghouse. This is everyone who was currently in the Doghouse at the moment. You got Draymond Green, Sam Howell. Seems like he might be in there for good. It look like the Commanders are making some moves to try to go get Caleb Williams. So who sees what happens with that? The Philadelphia Eagles, didn't end the year well. Um, let go of both their coordinators. Seems like they wanted some people in the organization wanted to keep Sean Desai, but I don't I don't know. So I see what happens with that. Then you got Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Board Promotions are in there. Brandon Staley, former coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, the WBC for making paper champions. Then you got Jamal Charlo, definitely Jamal Charlo. Jamal can't remember the name. I know that it's one of the twins. For domestic violence. Then Deontay Wilder, Regis Prograis, and Jared Miller. All guys in boxing who all deserve to be in the doghouse because of either their performances in the ring or outside. So that was the old doghouse. Are any of them coming out this time? No. Golden Point Promotions haven't done anything to put themselves out. Ryan Garcia still doesn't have a fight yet, so let's see what happens with that. Let's see if he actually books a really big fight. Okay. MC passing around because he might end up in New York. Yeah, that's true. He might end up in New York. Miller is getting trained by Tarver, so he might get out the doghouse. That's true. He might. We'll see. We'll see, Ty. I appreciate you tuning in, my guy. Appreciate you tuning in. Also was the first and only guest so far on Dave's Doghouse. So let's see. All right, let's go ahead and bring up the new doghouse. Boom, boom. So we got to talk about the new members of the doghouse. First place we're going to is in the state of Michigan. This team has made a lot of progress within the last few years. They have some of the most famous players that we can name to have never won a Super Bowl ring, like Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson. They've had, we can at least name someone in there that has played for this team that has never won, Matthew Stafford, even though now he plays for the Los Angeles Rams and he actually has a ring. But he's also one of those players that have won there. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown there now, along with Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta. His team made a lot of promise and got all the way to the NFC Championship game this year. If you don't have a clue what I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about none other than the Detroit Lions. Yes, the Detroit Lions are in the doghouse. The reason why they're in the doghouse is because they had a 24-7 lead at halftime. On the road against San Francisco, which is the number one team in the NFC. You had an opportunity to upset the best team in the NFC, and you choked it. You choked it away. You had 2 fourth down plays that you could have converted, and one was a drop, the other one was an incomplete pass. And you had a third and 10 that could have gotten completed, but he dropped it. Then you were taking bad sacks, even though you were converting to third downs. And then instead of taking the points, like I said, your head coach, Dan Campbell, just kept going for it on fourth down. You had an opportunity to get somewhere where you've never been. And that's the Super Bowl. That's what every team in the NFL plays for. At least that's what I would want to believe. Every team should be fighting for. They should be able to fight for the opportunity to get there. Now, my thoughts are we won the game. I'm a Niners fan, so I more so feel like we did what we were supposed to do to win that game. Our defense played a lot better. We scored 27 unanswered points in that game. Then they, of course, went and scored and got the almost like a last minute touchdown. I won't say garbage time because they still had opportunity to win the game if they recovered the onside kick. But we all know that didn't happen. Brock Purdy made plays in that game to be able to lead us to victory after being down 17 points and in the first half. First time that's ever happened in a championship game, in a conference championship game. So something that's and now first time the Kyle Shanahan coach quarterback actually won a game in that situation. So I'm giving credit to us, but you still got to look at the other side and say that the Lions had an opportunity to win this game and they just didn't do everything they needed to do to win. Detroit seems to be just doing Detroit things and just not winning. This is probably the winningest Detroit team in history. And they win and won the division, but all of that is good. And when you have a head coach like Dan Campbell, you will want to do whatever you can to win. But there were a lot of decisions that made that caused them to lose that game. And it's not like it was dumb penalties because it wasn't that. It was just some of the plays made just weren't good. Some of the plays made just weren't good. So, it's not smart. Not smart at all. So Detroit Lions, you have an opportunity. I'll say you have an opportunity in the draft to see exactly how you can improve to get better next season. I think Dan Campbell just needs to make better decisions and not always go forward on fourth down. I'm not saying that he should never do it, but I think there are times where he should be smart and just go ahead and take the points at times. Because when you take the points, you get an opportunity to play in the very next time. But this is just what happens at times, and sometimes it's just unfortunate that your team comes up in the losing end because bad decisions, bad plays, bad things not happening on the offense, drop passes, and not converting when you need to, not getting the onside kick. So all of these things play into it, and Detroit Lions are now home. Just like every other team in the NFC and the AFC, now they're home watching the Super Bowl instead of actually being there, instead of punching their ticket to be there, to play there, and have an opportunity to win your first ever Super Bowl championship. So, Detroit Lions, you get the call that everybody else gets when they get put in the doghouse. So, Detroit Lions, welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. That is the very first one. Very first new member added to the doghouse is Detroit Lions. Like I said, you got time to get better. We'll see what you do with that. Hope Munkins in the doghouse on running ball 6 times. With their running backs, and you just signed Cook. Yep. I think that was a idiotic decision also by Tom Munkin as well. Very next person. I mean, you just saw the comment. So, Ty, I think you might know. For some reason, I think you might have seen the text message I sent Joe, because that's absolutely who's in the doghouse. Tom Munkin, offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I'm not sure what your thought process was in this game, Tom Munkin. You came here to change life in Baltimore. Baltimore had an opportunity to get back to the Super Bowl first time since 2012. And what you did was not smart. For one, the Chiefs defense is top 5 in the league. I believe they're ranked second overall in the league right now, along with the 49ers. The Ravens are also in the top 5, along with the Saints. I can't remember the other team that was there, but these are this was a top 5 defense you're going to, and they were mainly top 5 because of their pass defense. The Ravens were the number 1 run team in the NFL. This is one thing that was their bread and butter, running the ball. You have one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league, and Lamar Jackson, along with a physical front line, a really good fullback that you have, and then you just went and signed Dalvin Cook. But what do you decide to do? You decide to not run the ball. You ran the ball 6 times with running backs. Six times. I believe Carl has said this multiple times during this season that you are trying to make the Ravens look like the Chiefs. That is not what the Ravens are built to do. This is not we're not saying what they're built to do. This is not what they do. Let's just put it that way. So I don't want to make it seem like they can't throw the ball because Lamar Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks in the league for a reason. And I believe he can do whatever he can whenever it comes to throwing the ball or running the ball. He can make any single play. But he doesn't, this is not what the offense is for. You're supposed to be running the ball, especially against a defense that ranks 19th in the NFL. You had an opportunity to dethrone Patrick Mahomes and not allow him to get to his 4th Super Bowl in 6 years. And what did you do? You choked it away. You didn't game plan to be able to allow this to happen. I believe your running backs were averaging 6 yards per carry. So that means you're getting a first down every 2 carries plus 2 extra yards. And you don't work on that success. This is what got you here. This was an issue that I had with Kyle Shanahan about him not sticking to what got him to this place. Tom Monkey, you came here, like I said, you came here to change life. They fired Greg Roman this past offseason because he wasn't doing what they needed him to do to allow Lamar Jackson to flourish and be himself, to allow this offense to be what it is. And you were supposed to come here and open up the playbook and allow all this stuff to happen. You get all the way to the AFC Championship game as the number 1 seed, the number 1 team in the AFC, and you go up against the vaunted Chiefs defense. And you go up against Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, MVS. Kadarius Toney did not play in this game, but what's up, baby? Shout out to Wifey, always supports the show. But yeah, there's just some things that you cannot allow to happen, Top Monken, and you allow this defense to play with their ears behind their back. They didn't have to worry about the run because you just weren't running the ball. And when you're looking for an opportunity to play in the biggest game in your sport, you do whatever it takes to win. And that's not stick away from what got you to this position, especially when that's the weakness of the other team. You run the ball. You take advantage of their weakness. And that's not what you did, Tom Monken. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure what your thought process was in this game plan. I'm not sure what you looked at on tape. I don't know if you thought Chris Jones was four defensive linemen, or he was just, you just had a fear that it wasn't going to work. I don't know if you noticed during the game that your running backs were getting 6 yards per carry, that you were having some success running the ball. It was allowing you to get down the field, but no, you just continue to throw the ball. And it's not 100% on you, but you definitely get a bulk of the blame for this because you're supposed to be you just won 2 straight championships with Georgia. And one thing that happened in Georgia is you ran the ball often when you needed to with a mixture of throwing the ball. Now, you didn't have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback in college, but you have him now. So you take advantage of this and you help this young quarterback to be able to make the Super Bowl. But just like the Lions and some of the play calling that was that was there. You just decided not to allow this to happen. So, Tom Monken, because of these things, um, I believe it was right to have you in here. Some people may agree, may disagree. Just like Kevo just said, it's not all on Monken though. They still had a shot, and Lamar also refused to run in key moments when the lanes were there. I agree with that, but I did say that he doesn't get 100% of the blame, but he does get a bulk of it. So Todd Monken, as I said before, you get the call that everyone else gets. So, Todd Monken, welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. Got an opportunity to change that, Todd. You're born here for a reason. So, let's see what you do next year. Very next person. I'm actually not going far from Baltimore. I'm staying there. And the comment mentioned them. Lamar Jackson. Yes, this is someone who will more than likely be announced as the MVP of the NFL season this year. Lamar Jackson, I am putting you in the doghouse. Yes, sir. Simply because of this comment right here. I believe in Lamar Jackson. You got a huge contract this year, and you well deserved. You're the only MVP to ever be undisputed MVP of the league. There were times during this game when you should have taken over and used your best weapon. This is not to say that you cannot throw the ball. Again, I'm saying this, that you have shown that you can be an elite thrower in this league, that you can do whatever it is. You can be accurate. You can throw the deep ball. We know you can make just about every pass. You can make a sidearm pass. We've seen it. But in the game, when you see that the passing game is not working, I believe you, Lamar Jackson, being the leader on this team and the best player on this team, I believe you have enough moxie. I think you have enough say to be able to say, hey, this is not working. And if it's not working, you need to be able to let your leadership know that these things are not working out. So I wanted to do this. Run the ball. You can call audible. If we can say this about other quarterbacks like a Joe Burrow, like a Patrick Mahomes, like a Josh Allen, like a Justin Herbert, a Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott. I can continue to name quarterbacks throughout this league who have an opportunity, who are captains on their team, or at least considered the best player on their team, who can make a change in the offense, or at least give a suggestion to be able to make these things happen. And Lamar Jackson, you are one of those people. You're about to have your second MVP in this league, and you still have yet to have a Super Bowl appearance. This is your very first championship appearance, which is great. And I give you kudos to that. You did everything you needed to do to put yourself there. Your team pretty much dominated the Houston Texans in the divisional round at home, and you deserved an opportunity to be in the AFC Championship game. But because of your play as the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, you didn't deserve to be in the Super Bowl because you didn't make the plays that needed to happen. Your team fell behind quick, and that was because of the defense. But the defense stepped up in the second half and didn't allow a single point in the second half. All the Chiefs' 17 points was in the first half, and I believe that was 3 of the first 4 drives for the Kansas City Chiefs that they got those 17 points. But you definitely fell behind. I mean, you had enough time in the second half. You were at least down 17-10. You had enough time to come back and win this game. And you got to make plays. You got to make plays when it happens, especially when you're the best player on this team. And Lamar Jackson, you just didn't do that. I believe you were given 75% of the blame for this. Some people say that you, as an MVP, as the best player on the team, you deserve 95% of the blame. Hey, percentage has nothing to do with me putting you here. It's the fact that you didn't do what needed to be done. If Todd Monken gets blamed, so do you. You've been here longer. You've been in this position, and you've already been talked about as not being a good playoff quarterback. Some people say that you're even Dakish when it comes to the court, when it comes to the playoff time, and I don't think you want that title. I really don't. And that's not to say you didn't deserve to be in the AFC Championship game, because you beat a really good Texas team who came out of nowhere, um, with D'Amico Ryans and CJ Stroud and this really good Texans team that had a really good defense and a really good fiery offense that came, like I said, Devin Singletary, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz. We can name the players on this team. But you, Lamar Jackson, you're different. You were supposed to be in the conversation along with Patrick Mahomes. Now Patrick Mahomes is clearly in the category by himself. You had an opportunity to put yourself in there and to get your team over the hump. We had a segment on the R2L show where I said that you making the Super Bowl would have been the bigger story or the biggest thing because of what you promised the team when you got drafted. You promised them a Super Bowl. You did that. They didn't ask you if you were going to get to the Super Bowl when you got drafted. You just said how you felt. You said they're going to get a Super Bowl out of you. Well, Lamar Jackson, this is your opportunity. You're now 2-4 in the playoffs because you didn't get your team to the Super Bowl. You didn't do what needed to get done to put your team over the hump. So this is where you go. You've been the dog of the week because of your performance that you've had in plenty of times. But now you're in the doghouse. This, like I said, this goes for anybody. Anybody can get put in here, and you are no different, Lamar Jackson. I expected more out of you. I believe that you're you're my favorite quarterback in the NFL. But I also expect you to play better. I expect you to make better decisions. You threw an interception in the red zone. We had an opportunity to score. Who knows? If you get that touchdown, we may be talking about something different, but that's not what happened. So, Lamar Jackson, you get the call that everybody else gets when they get put in the doghouse, and you are the newest member. So, Lamar Jackson, welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. Now, some Ravens fans may not agree. Dogs of the week. Who are the dogs of the week? Got some pretty good candidates, but now we're pretty much moving from pro sports to college. And as I said, we had a great episode. If you did not tune into CTC that aired this Saturday, make sure you tune in. And go back and watch that. We made some picks for that day. So, wow, you would come in here and talk about that. All right, Vaughn, I get it. But we got to talk about two teams in college and men's college basketball that have been playing great just about all season long. Let's go ahead and bring them up. First one, UConn. You're the defending champions of college basketball right now. And you're the number one team in the country. Riding a 10-game win streak. 9 or 10-game win streak. I can't remember what's on my head, but I know you're the best team in college basketball right now. You just continue to win games. There were a lot of, I won't say a lot, but there were some conversations going on in the college basketball chat that you wouldn't be this good coming back into the season. And look, you're right back into the spot to where you have an opportunity to get right back to the championship game, depending on where they place you. And if you continue to win out and then, you win your conference and everything, you have an opportunity to be in there. I asked the question if UConn should be considered a blue blood. And they just haven't seemed to be put in that conversation. And I believe they belong in that conversation because they have won multiple championships within the last 10, 20 years. So I believe UConn deserves to be in that conversation. And you guys have played very well this season. You've been led by a really good coaches and really good players. Some of your players had left and went into the league. Remember, not Candace Parker. I don't know why I was saying Candace Parker. But the young lady in LSU, you know, you the cousin, won a championship, and gone. So look, UConn latest win is against St. John's on the road. They won 77-64. Number one team in the country. They have a 20-2 record, led by guys like Cam Spencer and Tristan Newton. Tristan Newton in that game had 10 rebounds and 7 assists. And he led by two guys who put up 20 plus points. You had Spencer that put up 23, Castle put up 21 points. Tristan Newton had 18, 10, and 7. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He didn't make anything from three, but that didn't matter. They pretty much did whatever they wanted in this game. They shot 49% from the field as a team that showed 46% from three. It's like they couldn't miss. Like I said, other than Tristan Newton, they had fun. They had a lot of fun, and this UConn team definitely looks like they're going to be a dangerous team when it comes to March Madness, which is only just a few weeks away. About 4 to 6 weeks away. March Madness, it's on the way, and y'all know how crazy March Madness gets. And just imagine how my brother's going to feel. My brother's a huge UConn fan. He said that they were going to repeat. But he was thinking that everybody was going to return, but everybody did not return. But it looks like he may be right anyway, because this team is, like I said, this team's still balling. 20-2, number one team in the country. Don't know when they're going to lose again, but they just doing whatever they need to do to get it done. So, right, Vaughn, UConn balling. UConn is balling, and you got to make sure you're watching UConn. UConn is definitely doing big things in basketball. And like I said, UConn needs to be considered as a blue blood, because when you hit blue bloods, you think about like Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, UNC. You think about certain teams, and I think UConn needs to be in that conversation. So if UConn is not in that conversation by the end of the season, whether they win or not, I still think it's crazy. Because UConn is one of the best teams in the country and have been for a long time now. So, UConn, welcome to the Dogs of the Week. Enjoy your time in the field. All right, last but not least, I wish I was not talking good about this team, but hey, I gotta give this team some praise, because this team right here is playing like one of the best teams in the country. If you did not know by now, I am a Duke Blue Devil fan. I've been a Duke fan for a very long time when they had Jay Williams, J.J. Redick, Austin Rivers. When they had the Plumlee brothers. I can go on and on about all the times I've seen these teams win, and win a big game. R.J. Barrett played there, Kyrie Irving, Elton Brand played there, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum. I can go on and on about these players, but I'm not here to talk about Duke. I'm here to talk about a team that the greatest basketball player of all time played for, Michael Jordan. If you know who Michael Jordan is, then you know where he played. He played on the same team as James Worthy. That's the University of North Carolina, the North Carolina Tar Heels. Yes, it is time that they get talked about. I have not had much time to really talk about college basketball, but this team just shows that they're one of the best teams in the country. UNC just played their rival Duke Saturday in North Carolina. And what did they do? They put 93 points against the Duke team, led by Andre Bacot, RJ Davis, and Ingram, who all put up 15 plus points. RJ Davis had 17 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Bacot had 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and Ingram had 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 1 assist. They shot as a team 50% from the field, 37.5% from three. So the three wasn't really going down for them, but it didn't matter. As a team, it didn't seem like it was very well. But Ingram was 5 of 9 from three. RJ Davis was 2 of 3 from three. So I think that was more than enough. They did allow 84 points, but it didn't matter because they pretty much ran away with this game almost the entire game. And UNC is the number 3 team in the country right now. And honestly, I believe they should be number 2 because of the way that they've been playing this year. They're riding a win streak right now. Seems like they just have the momentum. They have the momentum going right now. Number 1 team in the ACC. They have not lost a conference game. Well, they just lost their only conference game to Georgia Tech. But other than that, they've beaten every other team in the ACC. Beat Clemson. They beat NC State, Syracuse, Louisville, Boston College, Wake Forest, Florida State, and now Duke. Next games they have Clemson again on Tuesday, 7 o'clock at ESPN. So if you have not watched them play, you might want to watch that game. They play Miami in Miami Saturday, 4 o'clock on ESPN. Then they play Syracuse again. Then they play Virginia Tech. Then they play Virginia. Then Miami again, this time at home. And then March, they close out with NC State at home, Notre Dame at home, and then they play on the road the very last game in the regular season at Duke. So watch out for North Carolina. They were very close to being able to win it all last season. Well, not last season, but the season before. Last season they got swept by Duke, didn't make the tournament and declined to go into the NIT. Caleb Love transferred and went to Arizona, and he's actually playing pretty well in Arizona. Arizona had a really good game last night against Stanford, so that was a really interesting game. So North Carolina definitely deserves to be talked in the light of one of the best teams in the country. This has been a storied franchise in college basketball, and it continued to just be well-rounded. Making a bounce back after what happened last season when they were preseason number 1 overall and then ended up unranked after everything happened, along with, like I said, no tournament invite, of course. But now they just seem to be doing whatever they need to do to be able to win and put their team in position to compete for a college basketball championship. Who knows? They may make another Final Four. They may win another championship, but let's hope not as a Duke fan. But got to give them praise when praise is due. So North Carolina, welcome to being one of the dogs of the week. Enjoy your time. Do whatever you need to do while you're here. Hopefully you lose again so you can get up out of here. But, that's a part of my show. Got to give you praise when praise is due. So welcome. That is it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate all the comments that I got today. Make sure you like this video. Again, subscribe. Share this to everyone. The videos are going to be broken down. That way you can each watch each one as I talk about each one by itself. And make sure you tune in Wednesday, 9 p.m. You will get the reveal of the Dog of the Year and Doghouse of the Year for sports. And then you got the Dog of the Year and Doghouse of the Year for the R2L family. So if you're a part of the Refuse to Lose family, make sure you tune in Wednesday, 9 p.m. And if you're just a fan of the show, a fan of the network, tune in 9 p.m. Wednesday for a great show. I appreciate everyone for tuning in today. It's been a great show. I appreciate everything. I didn't say this in the beginning, but hey, what we always do, we turn up in Dave's Doghouse.
Turn me up.
So thank you again, and may you all enjoy the rest of your night. Peace. Thank you for watching all the way through and tuning all the way into the end. Thank you for enjoying Dave's Doghouse. I hope you had a great show. Make sure you like this video and hit the notification button so you get an alert whenever I go live again or have another video and another episode. And also, last but not least, hit that share button. If you enjoyed this and you think someone else will enjoy it, share it. And also, thank you again for, tuning into this episode. And I'll see you next time. My guy, you in the doghouse.